like a well, and later you change this well, you want to abandon it. Never use it as a toilet. Because if you do that, you are contaminating the aquifer. Because the well already is where the source is. So if you pour anything there, it's going straight to the supply. And always you will find a NAWEC always try to drill boreholes away from settlement. Because all what we are trying to do still now, we are trying to protect our source. But normally, as you move away from people and drill a borehole, people tend to go and settle around the borehole because they think it's development. But what I will advise to those people, then they don't need to drill local latrines that are very deep. It's not very shallow, very, very shallow.
Going back to the process, now that we've seen where the pipes are, they already from the aeration unit. Yes. Now you said they're going to the chlorine. Yes, yeah. Yes. So where next now?
Then I can show you from here where we are injecting the chlorine. The chlorination injection point is what you have at the back there. I will just open there, and later I will show you the plant, the actual pumps themselves where the chlorine is coming in. Here is the chlorination unit where we inject the chlorination. As it is coming, where all this water is coming through, it's going to come here, and the injection of chlorine and lime is done here.
The water is distributed from the tanks. Those are the reserve tanks. Yeah. They move to here.
Yes, exactly. Like I explained earlier, from the aeration unit, it goes to the reservoir where we store water. From there, we're transporting them with these pumps to the elevated water tanks into the towns and villages along the coast. Yeah. From here, these particular pumps, they are pumping to Brikama. They are pumping to 3 tanks in Brikama. It's pumping into 3 tanks in Brikama. And those tanks are talking about 1,000 cubic meters and 2 500 cubic meter tanks. That's where these pumps are pumping. When they are operating normally, you have 2 operating and 1 on standby. Presently, these are, I will call them the smaller sizes, but the big ones are there. Maybe when we are there, you will not be able to hear because of noise. But those are the ones that are pumping into, we call them a ring, but in the east and the west line. The west line is going from Brikama here, it's going through Jambanjeli, Sanyang, Tujereng, Badakunku, Tanje, all the way down to Turntable at Tranquil. This line, other line goes through that. The east line, from here, it goes through Farato, Busumbala. Then at Yundum, it bends to Old Yundum, to Cow Johnson, all the way down to Westfield, Canifing, and supplying up to Banjul West in Banjul.
Basically, all those areas that you mentioned are getting water from here.
Yeah, because our system, we design in such a way that we have different treatment plants. This is one of them. This can do that network, but at the same time, our other plant in Sukuta also can use the same route, but not exactly connecting to Brikama. From Sukuta also we can connect to Cow Johnson and then go to Banjul. But this one also is designed that it can use, they are all connected, can go up to Banjul if necessary. Set is a 1,400 kVA Cummins generator. We use it as a backup system in case of power outage. Like you know, people can manage without a lot of things, but not without water. So in the design, we also have to incorporate a backup system. In the event that now main grid fail, so we use this backup to be able to energize all our 17 boreholes together with the plant itself to make sure that we give our customers reliable water supply.
Looking at the generator itself, it's quite big. This simply indicates that, to my own thinking, that the water supply project needs a lot of power in order for people to get water.
Absolutely, that's true. Because these 17 boreholes we are talking about, each of them, some of them are talking about 30 kilowatts of energy before they can operate. Operating 17 of that, and they are also at a distance. Because like I said earlier, some of them are more than 20 kilometers away from where we are standing, but they are all being powered by this generator. It's operating the 17 boreholes, the treatment plant as a whole. All the small pumps, the booster pumps is all being operated by the generator. So that is why you can see this size of generator is being selected for that kind of job. NAWEC and the government are doing everything possible to make sure that we give clean and safe drinking water to its population. here is we call it an LV control room. That's where we are controlling the centrifugal pumps. The pumps that we saw outside have been operated from here. This is the controls for that. You can see they are the state-of-the-art equipment. These are since 2009. You can look at them, you still think that it looks very new because it's well maintained by the plant manager at the same time the distribution manager, where I'm a second. A typical borehole look like this. Some can be a little bit bigger than this, but this is a 160 millimeter borehole. But purposely what we're using this one for observation, we try to monitor the level of our aquifer, the behavior of the aquifer. When I mean the aquifer, you know, the water level under the ground. This particular one is a safety device. What we are doing here, because there's a chlorination room behind me, so in the event that you have a contamination with chlorine, it goes into your eyes also. You come here and use this handle. In this particular room, what you will see a pump and a meter. What we are doing here, because chlorine here, the process is working. This is the particular plant working. You have one duty and one standby. So this is the one that is in operation presently. And it is working through pressure differences. In simple terms, there must be a vacuum for the chlorine to be able to flow from the bottle to the system. So this pump, what it's doing is trying to create that pressure. That's why you will see the two pumps to be able to get the system working.
These are operational 24/7.
24/7, 30 days a month, 365 days a year. The system have to work every day, non-stop continuously. The chlorine is, because the water supply is a non-stop thing, continuously. We adjust it according to the amount of water we are pumping. That's the chlorine is injected according to the amount.
It wouldn't be too much and not be...
Not less as well, yes. And in fact, we have an independent body that Pura is always checking on us. Pura don't even tell us when we are inspecting. They go and check our system. They also have contracted water resources with their lab in Abuko. They also go and check our network and see the quality of water we are supplying to our customers. So we are always on our toes to make sure that we deliver quality water supply to our customers.
Ibrahim, what does it take to control this chlorine in the distribution of water?
Thank you very much.